Welcome back on the Pursuit of Wealth, everybody. It's Rod with POW Group, your home for MJ Stocks, crypto assets, news, and interviews. Today is Friday. Happy Friday. It's July 11th. Hope you're doing well. Jatinder in the house. How you doing, man? We have a POW private member in the house. Hello, Rod. Filecoin and Litecoin, please. Yeah, we just had some POW ALGO alerts go off on Filecoin. It's looking good. Alt season is upon us, it seems, or at least we're getting into the next phase of alt season. So we're going to get started here. We'll give it another 30 seconds, another last minute live stream. So we'll give it another 30 seconds or so, and we'll give a little bit more time for people to join and participate. But let us know where you're tuning in from in the live chat. Thanks for joining the stream. Smash the like, tick the bell, all that good stuff. You've been notified on any future videos, and we'll get started here in just a moment. We'll jump into some requests too at the end. Jam, another POW Group private member in the house. Welcome, my friend. Let's go. You bet. I see we have a ton of people rolling in. Let us know where you're tuning in from, and welcome. Exciting day in the market today. XLM absolutely busting as well, so love to see it. And XRP, I do think that I mentioned that we could probably see a pullback at some point before we test all-time highs and set a new all-time high, but really it's coming any day. So we'll jump right into it. Once again, it's Rod with POW Group. Thanks again for joining us in the Pursuit of Wealth. I do believe that an all-time high could be in the cards for XRP. I've been saying in the POW Group private community, literally it's any week now. And I mentioned some point in, probably late June or July, we would see an all-time high for XRP. And yeah, now's the time where things are about to get nutty. We could easily be at $4 or $5 in a very short period of time. Like, we're talking a matter of weeks, folks. And with blockchain week next week, case coming to an end, all signs are pointing to that. So all-time high literally any day. Don't be surprised if we do pull back to around 260 to maybe even 250 for a quick fake out before we bust through all-time highs. But you can follow us over on X as well, formerly Twitter. Handle for that is @GroupPOW. Going to be using that as my platform of choice going forward. But you can see here, XLM's up 80% in a day. It went from 22 cents to 40 cents, or sorry, yeah, 22 cents to 40 cents. XRP almost hit $3 today. And remember, I was making videos back on XRP in 2020. You can see this video here on the screen. This is from 2020 when the price was at 22 cents. And I was shouting from the rooftops back then. I mentioned XLM had a 4-hour bull flag targeting 35 cents, and we hit that. And I have another project that I'm really excited about as well. I also just posted a how-to tutorial video on how to participate in this pre-sale, in this token sale. It's called SST, and I'm just going to play a quick short video here for you now, and it does a great job explaining it. While we're on the topic of crypto, I want to share with you a new project that I'm super stoked about and the sponsor of today's video. They are behind a new Web3 play-to-earn game called Gold Inc., and it's actually a real mobile MMO game, not just some tap-to-earn clone. First off, this is not financial advice, and everybody should do their own research. This is for entertainment purposes only. Full disclosure, this is a paid partnership and collaboration with Sapphire Studios. I've been playing the game for a few weeks now, and honestly, I can't say enough good things about it. And what's exciting is there's even more games coming soon. In the game, you build a gold mining empire, you can battle thousands of other players, and the real crypto that you mine and earn in the game is redeemable for real gold. Their token called SST is in pre-sale now at just a $10 million tiny market cap. And if you use my link in the description, you can earn up to 30% bonus SST for a limited time. You can also get 50% of the value of that in player game packs, which help you get started early in the game. This is one of the most expansive Web3 games ever built, and here's a quick look at it.
Hello, my name's Colin Stone, your very own blockchain braveheart, and I'm here to talk to you today about my coin and game pick of the year. Do you ever wish you could have invested in billion-dollar market cap game coins like Axie Infinity at the start? Well, Gold Inc., a new game launching now, makes those look like they were made by a kid. In fact, that's why I believe Gold Inc.'s coin SST is the first coin in a long time with the potential to go up 900 times, because it's the first Web3 real-time strategy massive multiplayer online game on mobile, and it's by far the most expansive Web3 game ever built. Its pre-sale is also at ridiculously low market cap, around $10 million for the next few days, and they are just about to launch the full game. Imagine someone building a mobile MMO game with a player-driven economy and player-governed political system where you can build a gold mining empire with your friends. and you're fighting against thousands of other alliances 24/7 to mine and steal crypto that is redeemable for real gold. That's Gold Inc. The reason SST is such a crazy buy is because Gold Inc. is not only the largest Web3 mobile game ever built, its team is obsessed with making it the greatest mobile game ever built. They plan to do this by adding the most addictive features from a lot of the most successful games on Earth, the best elements of games like Clash of Clans, Game of War, Pokemon Go, Clash Royale, Star Citizen, DayZ, Ark Survival, and many more in an effort to make a super game to rule them all. The beta is available now in Google Play and App Store, and you can still take part in their coin distribution at a tiny market cap for a few days. My advice? Buy at the coin distribution now while it's at the lowest price and start mining it in the game. Beta users get significantly more SST for a short time, and early alliances have a significant long-term advantage. The launch price on exchanges is set at 5 times the current price, and its use cases are next level. This is as close to buying Bitcoin at $10 as I've seen in a long time. Buy SST and play now.
There you have it. If you'd like to learn more, you can check out the links in the description and in the comment section. Once again, you'll get up to 30% bonus SST and 50% of that value in Gold Inc. player game packs just for starting early. There will also be links for the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store where you can download the game today and start playing. So check it out for yourself, and let's get back to today's video. All right, so super cool project. Can't agree anymore with that statement. Axie Infinity looks like it was made by a kid. I was actually looking into it a little bit yesterday, and I was like kind of laughing at it. It was pretty silly. It actually does look like a bunch of kids made it, but this one blows it out of the water. This one's like that on steroids, and they're working on another game. If you haven't seen it, their SST token, like I said, it's available for a short time. I even did a quick video on how to go through that process to pick that up in the pre-sale, because I'm getting a ton of questions about how to do it, and yeah, it was very time consuming, so I actually went through, created an account, showed you an example on how to do it. But I think this could be the next 100x opportunity. This was a project that I was super excited about, still learning more each and every day. And just like I said, if on X earlier today, like I posted this on the POW Group private community on July 9th. I said XLM's working on a massive 4-hour bull flag. It needs to hold 27 cents, and if we break resistance at 29 cents, it confirms it, and the target was 35 cents, and that's exactly what we got. So if you're not in a community, you're doing it wrong. If you're not learning charts and technical analysis, you're losing big time. So yeah, consider checking us out as well. This is we had a ton of POW ALGO alerts go off as well. We recently just had an algo alert go off on XLM, I believe, as well. Yeah, XLM, we just had an algo alert go off on a weekly EMA bull cross. And we had a bullish triple thunder crossover that went off not too long ago, which is when you see and the same thing just went off on XRP as well. So look at this one. If I bring up the POW ALGO alerts here, you also get these emailed out as well. But I believe it was right here, yeah, XRP USD, bullish triple thunder crossover, weekly close over the 10-week moving average, weekly MACD bull cross, and weekly stochastic bull cross occurring simultaneously. That was back on July 9th as well. And when all 3 of those conditions are met, it sends an alert out to the POW Group private community and in email form as well. So if you're not in the group, which I highly recommend you do, it's the best thing to do. But if you're not, you'll still get an email alert. So if we just take a look at XRP here on July 9th, you can see here it closed the day at 240. So on that bullish triple thunder crossover, you could have entered there on that alert firing, and you would have gained another 25%. XLM, we just had some alerts go off on that one as well. XLM is now up in just a very short period of time. It's up 80% in the last week. So if we look here at the last week to this week, 80%. So, and I was talking to Michael in the POW Group private community. And in the POW Group private community, I actually meant, I think I said day when I actually meant week. So if anybody was in the POW Group private community, that's my bad. I meant to say week. Just gonna correct that. Yeah, it's an exciting day. It's hard to keep things straight. Like I got people pulling me left, right, and center comments on social media and on YouTube and in the POW Group private community. It gets pretty crazy. Just wanted to correct that. up 180% in a week. I think what happened is I was on the weekly time frame, and I thought I was on the daily time frame. Sounds like a British accent. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so we'll take a look at some technical analysis here on XRP. We'll take a look at some other names in the space as well. If anybody does want me to jump into any other names, please let me know. But I do think that XRP is probably going to just range here. We're getting close to that all-time high, but ultimately I do think that, you know, we're going to see Bitcoin continue to steal the show a little bit here as well. We just had a weekly bull flag on Bitcoin that confirmed, and I said that the target on that was 146, taking a look at the measured move. And we're just seeing Bitcoin pull back a little bit here now. So we're seeing some turbulence. Wouldn't be surprised if we saw it back at around 112, maybe even down to 108. Everybody will be freaking out again, thinking, what's going on, right? I thought we were going to 140K. I thought this was the next leg up. They always make it difficult. And we actually have a head and shoulders forming here that confirmed on Bitcoin as well. So I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a little bit of turbulence, but like I said, literally any day now, XRP could see new all-time highs, and I wouldn't be surprised if XRP pulled back somewhere around to 260 to 240, like I said, really to shake people out. And that's also back at daily EMA 12. So that'd just be a back test of daily EMA 12. It would not be a major red flag whatsoever. We have increasing bull volume. Look at the volume compared to the daily average. We're absolutely blowing it out of the water. And we're looking at increasing bull volume here on the weekly time frame as well. So obviously 340 is going to be the level to break. Get above 340, we'll be at $4 in a hurry, folks, like in no time. Getting a lot of people asking me as well, am I taking any profit on XRP today? Absolutely not. I'm not taking any profit until I hit my sell target. So if you haven't seen that video, XRP exit plan, or just put in XRP exit, it'll be the first one that comes up. It's got almost 5,000 views, I believe. And you'll see all of my targets. So again, I don't make decisions on the fly. I don't buy something and then make decisions on when to sell later. You can see this one's got 4.1 thousand views, 246 likes, and I got a lot of great feedback on this. So again, I'm not buying an asset and then deciding when to sell it later. I already have my sell plan, and if I'm going to use a stop loss, I have that level as well. As soon as I enter, I set the stop loss. With XRP, it's an investment, so I'm not using a stop loss, and I'm not investing any more than I'm willing to lose, and I'm sticking to my game plan. My game plan is established before I even hit the buy button, okay? So I already know when I'm going to sell before I even bought the thing. This one goes with any investment. So here you can see my first initial take profit will be at $4. I'll take out my initial investment. Then I'll take another 10% at $7. I'll take another 15% at $11. Take a 35%, a big chunk at $19. And I'll take 25% at $26. I'll take another 15% at $35. But then I have a plan. I'm going to be holding X amount of shares forever. I'm going to be holding 100, say for example, 1% forever, right? I'm going to be holding 1% for $1,000 XRP, and I'm going to be holding about 5% for $100 XRP. So I have a plan for 3-digit XRP, I have a plan for 4-digit XRP, and I have a plan for holding it for forever, right? And that's based on an example of 10,000 XRP. I could have less, could have more, but I don't disclose any of that information. So at the end of the day, those are my sell targets. If we hit them, then I execute, right? I already have sell target. I just have sell orders as well, so that when it gets there, I don't even have to be logged in or anything or do anything. It's just going to sell automatically when it gets to $4 USD. So yeah, my average is around 40 cents as well. I did add a couple more times from this video, and you can see it was at 58 cents when I made it, so I was able to get my average down a little bit lower. But yeah, that's the name of the game, folks. You need to have your plan established before. You shouldn't be in it. I mean, do you, boo-boo, do each their own, but in my opinion, you should never buy something and then figure out when to sell later. You shouldn't be second guessing yourself, questioning it, when to sell, when not to sell. You should have all of that done before you entered. And if you didn't, lesson learned for next time, right? But let's look at the day today. We got XXRP, which is the Teucrium 2X futures-based ETF leading the way, sitting at $40. You got XLM, XRPP, XRP, XRPQ. I actually interviewed the CEO of 3iQ Corp. If you haven't seen that, you can check it out. But yeah, it looks like we're at new all-time high territory today. Yeah, huge gap up. So looking fantastic. I bought that in my TFSA, tax-free savings account. That one I'm not selling anytime soon. That one's like multiple years out. Like I'm talking like probably not going to sell that until at least $100 XRP. Do I think XRP is going to $100 this cycle? Probably not. I've said multiple times, if you go here, XRP 14, you'll see 4 major reasons why I think XRP is going to $14 to $16 this cycle. And I'm not just saying because I believe so, because I wanted to, and because I think it will, right? I actually give data, logic, and reason, and look at the chart and give you technical reasons why I think it's going to get there. Regardless of what I wanted to do, $14 to $16, I give you 4 major reasons, and it's all technical and data-based, right? Not just my own feelings and emotion and where I want it to go. So on the high end, though, I think it could hit somewhere around 20 to 30 bucks. But I think the most likely scenario is 14 to 16. But again, does it really matter? No, I have a plan for everything. I think the most likely scenario is we hit $100 eventually. Could it happen this cycle? Yeah, but I would say maybe it's 10% chance that it happens, right? It's probably going to do it in the next cycle, right? Which may be like a 2030 thing or like a 2028, who knows? But then ultimately, I do think that XRP has the potential to go to $1,000. Could it go to 10,000? It could, right? Not saying it can't, but it's not anytime soon. Maybe in the next 10 years, maybe in a decade or two. But yeah, XRP, it'd take a lot for that to happen. They'd probably have to, you'd have to tap into essentially tokenize all stocks, bonds, real estate, the derivatives market, which is valued at over $2 quadrillion. So yeah, it's definitely possible. Like there is enough money on the planet for that to happen. Is it the most likely scenario soon? Absolutely not. So don't subscribe to that idea whatsoever, and just be careful, right? You don't want to. It's just as important to know when to sell as it is as when to buy. Okay, so don't leave money on the table, but also don't beat yourself up if you take profit. If you stick to your plan, you should never beat yourself up. If you and you never want to, like, you always want to have some just in case. That's why I have a plan to hold some for $100, $1,000, some forever, and then I have my sell levels staggered, right? My dollar cost selling. So XRP, like I said, we had the bullish triple thunder crossover in the POW algo alerts, which, by the way, you've got one more day before the price essentially goes up double. And then POW group private community members, you get 20% off for life. So right now you can get the POW algo for the whole year for like $95 USD if you're a POW member. If you're not a member, it's just 20% more, so like $110 USD. But eventually that's going to be double here come tomorrow. So you got one more day to do that. There'll be links for it in the description, comment section, all that good stuff. And like I said, getting a ton of great feedback on that. But yeah, we just had a bullish triple thunder crossover that went off on XRP on the 9th. And then from there, we saw about 25% of upside. And on the daily time frame, we're probably going to get a POW algo alert go off for a golden cross as well. Really any day now with the 50 below the 200-day moving average and crossing, that could happen really any day. So we're probably going to get another POW algo alert go off on XRP. We had a ton of POW algo alerts go off. And I'll just give you, I don't normally do this, but I'll just give you some insight. So what you can do here is you can go to the POW algo. If you're in the, this is why I like the group the most, because if you're in the group, you can do search functionality, and I post the charts in there as well, and we can discuss. If you're in the email alerts, you can't discuss, you can't ask questions, you can't get the charts that I provide, right? You're just getting the alerts and that's it, and you have to make your own decision on the buy or sell alert, right? But like, for example, if you go in here, you can just type in XRP USD and then it'll show you all the alerts. So let's just scroll back. We had tons. Look at this. Micro overbought 28 days ago. We had inverse head and shoulders detected on XRP. That was 24 days ago. we got multiple alerts here. So if we just scroll back, hit X, there's a bunch of other ones that went off as well. So let me just go back here. Like I said, normally, I don't normally do this, but we'll go through and you'll see we had tons of buy alerts go off. This is just back on July 7th. Look at all these alerts, folks. There's over 60 assets now and over 25 custom indicators, different custom indicators and alerts. As you can see, we have XRP micro overbought. You get tons of them here. We had an hourly head and shoulders that was negated, but it was on the hourly time frame, so you're not too worried about that. But there's kind of short-term trade, right? There's signals for shorter-term trades and then longer-term trades as well. Micro overbought, so if you hit 5-minute, 15-minute, and 1-hour time frames are all overbought on the RSI, it'll alert. Same thing with Ultra, that's just 1 hour, 4-hour, and daily time frame. Yeah, look at all these alerts, folks. Micro overbought, XRP, this was the bullish triple thunder crossover. XRP micro overbought again. So all of these signals you can trade on. And if we get to ultra overbought, it might be a good time to start taking some profit at that level. So those are all the alerts that went off in the POW algo service just over the last few days. But yeah, it's looking good. Let's just take a look at XRP here at the moment. So yeah, we are just consolidating. More than likely set up for a daily inside bar into tomorrow. So don't be surprised if we do kind of fizzle out here. We're daily overbought. We got to be get close to ultra overbought here. We should be getting an ultra overbought. Why haven't we gotten that actually? Let me just see here. Maybe we did. Just checking into that. We'll take a look at some tickers there as well. I'll have to look into that. I'm going to set myself a reminder. Yeah, we should have hit ultra overbought. Set myself ultra overbought. I'll look into that after the stream. It's another thing too. I love the reminder features as well in the POW Group private community. All the news. All right. And Jam, you said it best. Yeah, like having the alerts is basically like access to my brain, and I love it because I don't. It's a lot less work that I have to do. If I look at these charts, I don't even have to come on here and do all this analysis. It's much time. It's a lot more time that I can spend doing other things. And when the alert fires off, like you said, it's basically my brain doing the work, but without me doing it. So then I just go check, and then I can buy or sell whatever I want to do based on the buy and sell signal. So it's absolutely awesome. It saved me a ton of time. I can't imagine not using it. What about to $100 XRP? Yeah, I think I already answered that question, Tashi. So I think we're good there. Jatinder, can we take a look at Filecoin? Yeah, sure. We'll take a look. So we just had a bullish triple thunder crossover go off on Filecoin. So a huge buy alert. So again, I don't even have to come on here and do this because I already know the alert told me. So as you can see, we just had a close over the 10-week moving average, the MACD and the stochastic cross bullish. Look what happened here. XLM just saw the same thing. And it went from 22 cents to 40 cents. 80% gain in a week. So there you go. Filecoin just had the same one, and it's coming off all-time lows. So yeah, this one's going to absolutely melt faces. Full disclosure, I do own Filecoin as well. Let's take a little deeper look into it. In the weekly time frame, yeah, we're starting the weekly bounce. We're still in a weekly downtrend, so next resistance is at 277. After that, we have pretty much nothing until 330. But yeah, 277 is going to be key because then we're no longer in a weekly downtrend at that point. This could be an inverse head and shoulders forming as well, which would look something like this. Just a quick rough. And we could see an EMA 12 and 26 bull cross at some point soon. That's pretty far away, so it's probably going to be at least a couple of weeks, but as we know, prices are that's a lagging indicator to the price, so price would be much higher by then. Yeah, inverse head and shoulders showing about 532 if that were to confirm, top out at the neck, form the right. Still very early, but yeah, I wouldn't be surprised at all to see this back up around $4 or $5 in the not too distant future. If we take a look at the, yeah, looking real good there, triple bullish, triple thunder crossover. We've got the weekly time frame. We have nothing nearby until the 50 weekly there at 370. So again, a lot of resistance in that area. And the 200-day moving average at 327. We could see a golden cross over the next couple of weeks. So this one's a laggard. It should play catch up here though soon. I wouldn't be surprised. This is a great candidate for 100% gain, in my opinion. We haven't even started the monthly bounce yet. And look, when we do, it reminds me of like a Tilray. Once we do, we have no resistance on the monthly until $8.50. And just to get, like, if we start the monthly bounce and break the high of last month at 277, so again, 277, very crucial level. If we break that, we could easily go 30% to EMA 12 resistance and then 118% to EMA 26. But anything under 850 on a monthly bounce is just a monthly lower high and still in a downtrend. So we still have to form a high, higher low, and higher high to be back in a monthly uptrend. And we could see a monthly EMA 12 and 26 bull cross over the next little while as well. Look what happened to Oxley. When this one had a monthly EMA 12 and 26 bull cross, it went from a penny up to 17 cents. So just a cool 1,500%. But yeah, Filecoin looking good. We probably got a bull flag on some lower level time frames. Yes, we do. So we'll just get rid of this. Actually, it might be better on the 4-hour. Yeah, it's a 4-hour bull flag. Actually, it was 2 4-hour bull flags back to back. So you had one here. And you can just make your measured move out to the low to the high, move it out to your 0.32 fib. And it was saying 260 was the target. That hit. And then another one confirmed. So you go from the low there. Actually, it hasn't confirmed yet. So from the low to the high, we held the 0.382 fib there at 258. So that's going to be key support now. And key resistance is going to be 267. Break that. Then it's confirmed. And then, yeah, we're off to the races. That 277 level probably going to be broken. And our next target would be 285. So it's looking good here. I think you wanted to look at another one. All stars aligning, absolutely. Hot doc. Litecoin. Yeah, Litecoin's another sleeper. So Litecoin 4-hour bull flag. That's one thing. Like I mentioned that on XLM, right? So XLM had a 4-hour bull flag. Target was 33, just under 34. And then you have to... Okay, so if you're looking at XLM, you're looking at XRP. XRP had a 4-hour bull flag as well, which would have been right here. So if XRP has one, XLM has one, what are you going to expect most alts to have? Probably a 4-hour bull flag, right? And that target was 261 and overextended because we're playing catch up. And Bitcoin's on a tear right now as well. And the S&P 500 weekly bull flag. Bitcoin just confirmed a weekly bull flag. So SPY S&P 500 is targeting 656. And Bitcoin's weekly bull flag confirmation and measured move target is 146. And then we have all the alts playing catch up. So if XLM, XRP are 4-hour bull flags, what are we going to anticipate for File USD? 4-hour bull flag. There was actually 2 of them. And this one was beaten a lot more down than XRP and XLM. So it stands to reason why there was 2 back-to-back playing major catch-up mode. What are we going to expect on LTC? Another 4-hour bull flag. So that's exactly what we have. If we go from our... This one's massive as well, just like Litecoin. Or sorry, just like XLM. So on Litecoin here, if we go from their low to the high there, measured move, it was saying 95.75 after coming off of 85. And again, this brief higher low, we didn't even lose the 0.236. So that was a very quick dip and massive move. So you knew that once we broke that and confirmed it was more than likely going to be some massive follow through because we barely even, it just goes to show you how eager, and look at all those lower wicks, just showing you massive buy pressure. And then, yeah, as soon as we broke 91.49, that confirmed the bull flag. You could have just entered there on a bull flag confirmation, and that would have been a gain of about 8%. So looking really good. New 4-hour candle on XRP, 4-hour inside bar at the moment. Yep, I look at the POW algos and Rod plays in my head talking. Yeah, it's awesome. Well, essentially, it's my analysis and logic that I normally use in my charts, right? If you've been following this channel for what, I created the channel in 2018. So if you've been following the channel for 5 years, 7 years, you've heard me talk about all this stuff before, and now it's in a algo form. So yeah, it's like, it's literally like Rod, little Rod voice going off in your head, or just like picture me on your shoulder. Yeah, it's crazy how like nobody wants to like invest in themselves though. Like I've seen so many great stories of people joining the POW Group private community, joining the algo. Like the amount of, I just can't imagine the frustration just doing this on your own. I just wish this was, like I used to do it myself, and like I couldn't imagine not being in the group now, or using charts and analysis, or using the, you know, these different technologies and the POW algo. Like it just makes my life 1,000 times easier. Like in my opinion, the POW algo is worth $1,000 a year. The fact that you can buy it for like less than 100 US right now is pretty crazy. There's other competitors that would, there's other products on the market that would charge, you know, $1,000, $2,000 a year for a much lower quality product, in my opinion. So, and there's some communities that are charging like, you know, $150, $200 a month, over $1,000 a year. Like I'm giving it to you for like, you know, $20 a month, or like, you know, I try my best to give as much value as possible and not break the bank as well. But yeah, check out my XRP exit video if you haven't seen that one. I'm surprised only 19 people are here watching. Probably everybody's busy trying to FOMO in. Yeah, it's also a work day, so yeah, right in the middle of the work day. But yeah, it's gonna be an interesting weekend. Let's see what's going on SPY here. So SPY confirmed the daily bull flag yesterday. So again, we had a weekly bull flag on SPY. Now we have a daily bull flag. You can see here it held the 0.32 fib. You take the measured move it out your 0.32 fib. So we need to break 626 to see continuation. And then the daily bull flag target 648, and the weekly bull flag on SPY is 655. So this is great to see. If we close here at 624, we're heading into blockchain and crypto week next week. Oh dear. Yeah, I would say XRP could be at an all-time high, new price discovery within like probably $4 within the next 3 to 5 days. Conservative. It could happen before then or after that, but I would say the most likely scenario is we see XRP at an all-time high price discovery somewhere around that $3.50 to $4 area. Some exchanges have 380, some have 350, like 340, 380. I think there was one exchange that had like 390. But you have to remember they removed the Korean exchanges, and like there's so much manipulation with this thing. I wouldn't be surprised to see it at $3.50, $4 USD here in the next, call it 3 to 5 days. Let's take a look at the lower level time frame. So we do have a 15-minute bear flag by the looks of it. So we might see a bit more turbulence here in the short term. So yeah, it's a perfect 15-minute bear flag. So key support is going to be 270. Lose 270, and then I'll give you the target. Not what I think it's going to do. I'll give you the logic and the data of what the charts say. So it's saying 254. And what did I say earlier? I said I thought I wouldn't be surprised if we saw 260, 240, just based on my experience and how extended we got in a very short period of time. And then I look for logic, data, and reason to confirm what I believe as the most likely scenario. Not what I want to happen, but what the charts are saying and what the logic and data is saying. And sure enough, we have a bear flag here, but we haven't confirmed it yet. So you don't need to panic. You don't have to worry about it. You just react. So when we lose 270, that confirms it. You take your measured move there from the high to the low. Measured move is 254, and that's right smack dab in the middle of where I thought it would go in the first place. But again, you're not going to be able to look at these charts and say, oh yeah, we're at almost $3, almost all-time highs. We're probably going to see a pullback and a fake out to the downside, bear trap. You're not going to know that until you do thousands of hours of research and years and years of practice, right? But you could join the POW Group private community or the POW Algo, and that could help cut down by hundreds of hours that you might have to invest. Or, I can help you not make the same mistakes I made. One thing I've noticed in the finance world is no matter, like I do coaching with people as well. And like, no matter how many times I tell people, like I could like hit them on the head with a hammer and they still would not listen to me. People have to, for whatever reason, everybody thinks they're a genius, right? And when it comes to like trading stocks, once they just like learn a few things and they're like, oh, I read a book and, I spent like an hour and now I'm a genius. I'm a day trader. But like, like even myself, I thought like, oh, I think I'm getting the hang of this. Like, I don't need to listen to the people who know what they're doing. Like, I'm different, right? I'm special. And then I would lose all my money and be like, oh, okay, yeah, maybe I don't have a clue. Maybe I should listen. And then once I started to listen and do research and follow, the way that the charts, way technical analysis works, find a way that worked for me, and really put in the work, right? I had to put thousands of hours in. But I'm also working on Pursuit of Wealth Academy. So I'm working on the course. I actually been working on it a lot yesterday. I'm halfway done chapter 2. So if you look at investing and trading mastery, essentially what I'm doing with this course is I'm trying to take thousands of hours and condense it into like 10 or 20. So the course is going to be somewhere around 10 to 20 hours from start to finish. And my goal with this one is to condense everything I've learned in the last, 15 years in finance and condense it into like 15 hours. That's essentially what I'm doing with this course. So as you can see, here's all of the chapters and the modules. I'm right here. So I'm on Candlestick Mastery. Should be done. I was thinking August 1st, but I might even have it done before then. So I know a lot of people pre-ordered this, so you'd be happy to know that. But yeah, I'm done lesson 4, so now I'm on lesson 5, and these should be fairly quick. It shouldn't take me very long, and then I'm gonna take everything that I taught you in the course, and I'm going to put it into interactive quizzes with examples, and it'll be a knowledge test so that you can practice it. Because one thing I learned with technical analysis, and one thing I noticed was that I thought I knew what I was doing, but I didn't have anybody there telling me, saying, yes, you're correct, or no, you're not doing that right? I thought I was correct. I went, like, it was like a whole year where I thought I knew like what a monthly uptrend was, but I really didn't know. And then one day I was like, oh my God, I was so naive. I really didn't even have a clue. But the crazy thing is I thought I knew for like a year what it was, but I didn't have anybody to confirm that I was wrong or right. So what I'm going to do in this is I'm going to show you some scenarios, some case studies, some use cases, some scenarios, and some patterns, etc. like in a video on the chart. And then at the end, you're going to be quizzed, and then you're going to see if you were correct or not, and then you'll be able to see the answer and if you were right. And if you weren't, then you'll be able to get the reason why you weren't, and then you'll learn, right? Then you'll know. So this is, I got a lot of really great feedback just on that alone. But yeah, that one's only $99. The price of these will probably be going up at some point soon as well. But like I said, try to give as much value as possible. And I've already put probably close to 100 hours into just this course alone. I have another course which is like beginner, intermediate, and this one's more advanced. But they're both for anybody. Doesn't matter if you're new, experienced, whatever, seasoned vet. Both of them are valuable, and you should take them anyways. But yeah, this one here, just this course alone, I've probably sunk in almost 100 hours of my life just making this course. So you're getting 100 hours of my time, effort, blood, sweat, and tears put into this. And like I said, I'm trying to condense 15 years worth of experience into about 15 hours, and you get it for 99 bucks. So yeah, we're 15-minute inside bar here at the moment. So we'll just see how this fizzles out over here. If we can get the stock market to close here in a couple hours and close bullish, then I think we got some runway here into crypto week next week. Why do you say people will FOMO big after $5 on XRP? Great question. So the reason why is because it's a huge number psychologically. Not only that, that's going to bring us into new all-time highs in price discovery. So when we hit $4, people are going to be like, oh, you know, we hit $3.90 in the past. It's not that big of a deal. When you hit $5, it's going to be like, oh, well, what if it's at double digits soon, right? That psychological thing. $5, right? I thought it was going to 0. And now it's at 5. Wasn't it just at like 10 cents? So then you start to get people getting FOMO, fear of missing out. But also it's into price discovery. So what happens in price discovery, usually you see escape velocity. What happens when these ETFs, there's going to be like 20 different ETFs, folks, and that's not even factoring in the ones in Canada and around the world. There's just 20 right now. There's 18, I think, filed in the US. BlackRock's going to join, for sure. There's no way in hell they're not. And that's going to be the big kahuna, right? And so there's going to be at least 18, 19 just in the US, probably close to like 30 or 40 around the world, maybe more. And yeah, this thing's going to absolutely explode. I would not be surprised in the least to see this at 15 to 20 bucks this cycle. And could even happen like in a couple of weeks. That's how quickly it'll happen. Again, once we get to $5, it'll be that new all-time high. The media will be talking about it. Everybody else will be talking about it. There was news today. Brad Garlinghouse is worth about $10 billion. $10 billion, this guy. And he's just the CEO. How much is Tim Cook worth? How much is Tim Cook worth? CEO of Apple. He's worth $2.4 billion. Folks, I've been telling you, Ripple will be the most valuable company on the planet. It will be worth more than Apple, more than Amazon, maybe combined. It might be worth more than these companies combined, okay? So Ripple is just a new company. An 11 or 10, yeah, it was Bitcoin in 2009. And then Satoshi magically disappeared in 2011. That was the last time we ever heard from Satoshi. And then all of a sudden the XRP ledger started to get built. And Satoshi even referenced the XRP ledger in his and Ripple in his like time when he was basically posting stuff. So he basically said that, you know, XRP is probably going to be something to keep an eye on. And yeah, it's just so funny that as Satoshi disappeared in 2011, XRP started to get created. And then shortly after XRP, Ripple was founded. And you can just go to ripple.com and there should be some stuff here. XRP ledger docs about XRP. There you go, 2.5 billion. They even had like a chronological order as well about XRP ledger docs. There was like a timeline as well. Not sure where that is now. They might have updated the Ripple impact. Anyway, not a big deal, but it was, I think, like maybe a year later or like 6 months or something like that. XRP was created after. And yeah. 2.4 billion Tim Cook is worth, CEO of Apple. And Apple was created in what? The 80s? When was Apple founded? 1976. And Tim Cook is worth 2.4 billion. Let me get the Ripple will be the most valuable company on the planet, folks. Bar none. And some of these Ripple founders and executives, I think they could pass Elon Musk in terms of the richest person in the world. Where is it? I'm going to scroll up. Just going to go in the POW group private community. So again, this is another way. You have all the news here. You got crypto news, MJ news, commodity news. I got like dozens of publishers. You never have to go to another news website ever again, and it just automatically fetches it. So I can't find this, so I'm just going to type in Garlinghouse. And here you go. Comes up right away. I don't even have to mess around with it any longer. So then I hit read. Never have to look at another news site ever again. Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse's net worth climbs to $10 billion after the SEC settlement. And they've only been around since 2012, folks. Think about that. 2012, and he's worth 3 times the amount as Tim Cook. 4 times. That's crazy. Absolutely crazy. Like, he's probably going to be worth $100 million. I bet you some of the founders, like Chris Larson, I bet you he could become the first trillionaire. Like, XRP will be the most valuable decentralized virtual currency digital asset, crypto, and Ripple will be the most valuable centralized company, right? One's a company, one's a digital asset. So, was there ever a person who became a trillionaire? No, there was never any trillionaires. So guess what? Ripple is going to mint the first trillionaire. Guaranteed. Absolutely guaranteed. Ripple will be the most valuable company. XRP will be the most valuable digital asset when it's all said and done. Speaking of which, coin market cap. XRP just flipped Tether. So we're now 3rd most valuable. Guess what? Scam Ethereum. That junk is getting out of here. This is absolutely a scam. It's CCP. It's terrible. It's not even the first. Ethereum Classic was created first, then Ethereum. Ethereum was created after XRP, and Vitalik Buterin worked for Ripple as an intern. And then he didn't get a visa, so he created Ethereum. He stole the idea of smart contracts from Ripple because Ripple was going to implement it, but they said, no, we don't want to jeopardize payments. And as you can see, Ethereum can't scale. It's expensive. It's slow. It's inflationary. The supply is always rising. XRP is deflationary. It burns a certain amount of XRP with every single transaction, even RLUSD, the stablecoin. They're into custody, payments. Like, it's insane. This is the Amazon of crypto, folks. XRP will pass Ethereum, no problem. And it's probably going to happen this cycle. And then it's going to pass Bitcoin. Mark my words. You heard it here first. XRP will be the most valuable when it's all said and done. And Ripple will be the most valuable company when it's all said and done. Thoughts on an entry, Michael says, on Decibel right now. Market cap, 46 million CAD. Yeah, it's. I actually interviewed the CEO, so if you haven't seen that, you can check it out. I haven't looked at that stock. I do own a little tiny position on that one. Not the most bullish on that one. But yeah, it's at 8 cents, so can't go wrong adding here. I mean, you got a all-time high of like 355, and just in 2021, before the massive bear market, it was at like 36 cents, so can't go wrong. Like, just from 2021, the stock's down 78%. All-time highs, it's down 98%. So can't go wrong. Could see a monthly MA 12 and 26 bull cross over the next 2 or 3 months. It's still quite a ways away, so I would say 2 or 3 months. But again, look what happens when you see these crosses, right? The bull cross happened, but the price had already skyrocketed. But then it consolidated, and then it went again. So usually by the time that cross happens, the price is already seeing tons of momentum. Look at Love's another one. So we just had a monthly EMA 12 and 26 bull cross. Look, it was kind of like DB. It was getting close to crossing. Then this price skyrocketed. That's because they're lagging indicators, these moving averages. But you had another opportunity here to add there, and then another higher high. Oh, crap. I didn't even notice this thing went to a new all-time high. Man, my portfolio is killing it. Like, the amount of XRP gains and crypto gains and the way MJ has been going lately, like, this is insane. And like, again, I'm not even looking at this. Like, I'm not selling Canara until it gets like $10. So like, new all-time high, I don't even care, right? It's just, didn't hit my game plan. My game plan is to sell my first at $10. It's not at $10. So I don't care. I got alerts set, sell orders. I'm curious how POW ALGO will react in a Black Swan event. It would probably go nuts. Yeah. Yeah, you're probably going to want to disable at least sound notifications. But yeah, it's going to go nuts, yeah. You'll see multiple bearish triple thunder crossovers, and that's something as well, right? When you're on the POW ALGO, right, if you go to ALGO here, I'll just play this video so that you can see. When you see the SPY, SPY, and S&P 500 bearish triple thunder crossover, QQQ bearish triple thunder crossover, Netflix, Apple, Microsoft, and they're all having these bearish triple thunder crossovers, which is when the 10-week moving average closes below, the price closes below the 10-week moving average, the MACD and the stochastic on the weekly time frame all cross bearish. And when all three of those happen simultaneously, you get that alert, which I coined bullish or bearish triple thunder crossover. And that's what they look like in Slack. And then whenever they email them out, this is what it looks like in email. So if you're getting all big tech, all ETFs like SPY and QQQ, well, you're going to expect probably a massive bear market. So if you're wondering when this market's going to top out and when we're potentially going to enter a multi-year bear market, just look for like 10 or 20 different bearish triple thunder crossovers from all the major companies, big tech companies, Amazon's, Apple's, Microsoft, SPY, QQQ, etc. Right? That's when it'll be Armageddon essentially, and where I'm going to be looking to get majority out of the market, and when we confirm monthly downtrends, which we haven't done. So hopefully that answers your question. It's happening, says Martin. Absolutely, I agree. ETH is a big piece of crap. Yeah, it's absolutely a piece of crap. I mean, congrats to those that bought at $80 in March 2020 and 5,000. Like, that's amazing. But yeah, I don't buy stuff. I don't talk about stuff unless I use it and believe in it. XRP has so much utility for me. Like, I bought Sapphire token, right? The sponsor of today's video. I could have bought with so many different coins, and I decided to buy with XRP. Why? Because it's sent in 3 seconds. Why am I going to send Bitcoin or Ethereum and wait forever? Why am I going to pay like $10 to send Ethereum, and then it gets higher and higher as more money is sent? I sent XRP. It was there in 3 seconds, and I paid less than a penny fees. Like, that's utility, folks. I use it. I talk about it. That's why I talk about it. That's why I'm bullish on it. That's why I made a video right back here when, where was that? I think it was this one. Yeah. Oh, it's playing. That's why. 22 cents. This video was in March 2020. Or not, I don't know if it was in March. It was definitely in 2020, though. December. Yeah, it was in December of 2020, because you can see it on the screen there. I'll just put this video link in the chat, and you can watch this video. Actually, no, this was the here, let me type it in. This is the video from yesterday. So let me just type in POW group XRP bounces over 40% today, going to 0. Right? That was all the lawsuit, the XRP lawsuit, blah blah blah. It's like, you guys are all nuts. Like, you do realize Amazon, Tesla, all of them got Facebook, they all get sued by the SEC, right? Like, it's called a vetting process, and yeah, corruption and regulatory capture. And it's called pay to play as well. If you don't pay to play, you ain't playing. Sorry. But yeah, check that video out. That's me back in my glory days. Like, look how young I was. Yeah, so if we scroll down 4 years ago, it's actually longer than that. Sometimes the time frame on here is not accurate. I just pasted it there in the chat, and now I think my browser's frozen. Am I still coming through okay? What's going on here? I think I got too many things running at the same time. Every time I do these streams, everything gets pretty bogged down. Man, the amount of messages I'm getting on my phone and social media, it's nuts. There we go. Oh, it crashed. We're seeing that before. So yeah, this was December 29th, 2020, just after the SEC sued Ripple. 22 cents, 21 cents. That's when I was loading the boat on this friggin' thing. But yeah, I was just a little baby back then. Little baby Rod. And I brought up the POW Group private community in the video too. It looked like it was ancient. Awesome. Blast from the past. That's one thing I like about YouTube too, and like just my overall journey while I'll never stop doing this is because like it's like a journal for me, right? It's like a personal diary and journal. My whole entire life over the last 7 years. So it's pretty awesome. I'll be making videos, content. Like I said, as long as I'm breathing on this earth, I'll be making videos. And I've got over 2,000 videos, 2,046 videos, and over 1.5 million views on the channel now. So pretty awesome. It's already grown bigger than I ever thought it would, and really appreciate all the support from everyone. What about Tilray, Justin says? Yeah, Tilray is going to be easily a 100x opportunity, in my opinion. 50 for sure. Not worried at all. It's just so funny that, you know, you get people saying, oh, Tilray's going bankrupt. It's like their balance sheet and debt is like improving like crazy. And they've got so many assets. They could easily sell off assets. Like, it's just so funny to think that people think that they're just because the price is low, but that just shows they don't do any research, right? But if you bought this at 35 cents just last month, if it goes back to all-time high, you're looking at an 863x. So $1,000 into $863,000. For every $1,000 you invest, you could have $1 million. Okay, that's not realistic, Rod. Okay, February 2021, then it was just at $67. If you got it at 35 cents and it goes to $67, which it was just at a few years ago, that's 187x. Okay, so 100x off of the lows of last month would be $36. Okay, what if it goes 50x? Which is still, for every $1,000 you put into this thing, that's worth $50,000. It would only need to go to $18. You don't think this thing can go to $18 again when it was just at $67 in 2021? I know that 300 is a stretch for the all-time high, but if it was there once on the Canadian hype legalizing, what do you think is going to happen when the US, the biggest economy and the biggest capital markets in the world, legalizes? What's going to happen in 5 to 10 years after the US legalizes and this market sees the blue chip phase and maturation? So it's, yeah, like I said in my video yesterday, posted this video, the next 100x opportunity, the next Oxley, Tilray, or XRP, I do believe this SST token has all the signs of a potential 100x opportunity. So it's looking good. We appreciate you, sir. You as well, Martin. Really appreciate it. I know you've been following for a while as well. So really goes both ways. Really appreciate all of the support. Love each and every one of you. Thanks again for joining in. And yeah, gonna end it there. We'll do another live stream. We'll do another video on XRP soon. And more than likely, the next one is going to be new all-time high, probably somewhere around that $4 mark in price discovery. All right, have a great rest of your Friday. Once again, happy Friday. Have a great weekend ahead. It's Rod with POW Group. Thanks again for joining us in the pursuit of wealth. Catch you on the next one.